Hi, I'm Andrew Sears. I'm the president of City Vision College, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about City Vision's partnership program for unaccredited ministry training organizations. The reason why this partnership program exists is because we recognize that often the people who are best at doing ministry and even training in ministry often don't have the credentials needed for accreditors, and because of that, there's a lot of outstanding ministry training programs that are out there that may not have accreditation. So we've developed this program so that we can do something called prior learning assessment or partner with you to develop for-credit courses. So let me just start off and tell you a little bit about City Vision College. City Vision College was started as Rescue College in 1998 as a program of the Association of Gospel Rescue Missions. It received accreditation in 2005 and was transferred to Tech Mission in 2008. So Tech Mission is a national evangelical parachurch nonprofit organization. And a little bit of my background. So I've worked in ministry for about 20 years and just completed my dissertation in the past year, my doctoral dissertation focusing on how innovation can work with Christian higher education. One of the things we're trying to do is to use some of the innovative ways that people can get credit as a part of our City Vision program. So the degrees we currently offer are bachelor's in nonprofit management, addiction studies, and missions. We also offer a master's in technology and ministry. So if your students transferred to us, they would be completing their degrees with one of those degree programs. A lot of our students receive Pell Grants. We have a pretty high graduation rate, a pretty high job placement rate. We've been growing at about 20% a year. Our tuition's one of the lowest Christian college or university tuitions in the country at only $6,000 a year, non-discounted, and that's compared to about $24,000 a year for the average Christian college. So the staff, so I'm the president of City Vision. Michael Limita is our dean, chief academic officer. He worked at the Association of Gospel Rescue Missions for 20 years, and Tasha Sosa is our partnerships coordinator. You can contact any of us if you'd like to talk more about this program or fill out the form on the website to find out more. Let me just start off, and a lot of times, you talk about partnerships, it can be hard to imagine, but I want to start with a few concrete examples. So a lot of the partners that we've started to work with, and in many cases we don't yet have formal partnerships, but we've started to review credit from organizations that have non-accredited ministry training. So we're currently reviewing a student from YWAM's Discipleship Training School, and we're also reviewing someone from David Wilkerson's school, and we are taking them through our prior learning assessment. There's also a lot of groups out there that will have clergy licensing that may not be accredited or intensive church courses. There's a group that we're working with that they have a short-term missions program with about 10,000 people that go through it, and they want to offer a version where the students, and a lot of these are high school students, actually could get college credit if they wanted to, and they had taken an online course before and after the short-term missions trip. Then there's a lot of other educational programs that might happen as a part of ministries, recovery ministries, job ministries, at rescue missions, Salvation Armies. And we also, in addition to these programs where we're working to provide credit, we also have an internship program that you can find out in other places on our site that's kind of a Christian counterpart to AmeriCorps, where we have about over 80 City Vision internship sites. So that's just some of the examples of our partnerships. There's really three areas where you can work with this on the educational partnerships. One is prior learning assessment evaluation. Two is to offer your courses for credit through City Vision. And the third is to partner with us to help us work with you to develop a sustainable revenue model for your training. Now, the first part, prior learning assessment for degree completion, we can provide prior learning assessment evaluation for up to 30 credits for past ministry training. Now, let me tell you a little bit of how this works. So this isn't the same as transfer credit, and we have to follow a portfolio evaluation process. The way it works is a student will take a 3-credit course with us, and as a part of that, they will develop their portfolios for up to 30 credits. The credit isn't guaranteed, but if you have prepared your students adequately and they can document that, which should be the case in most cases if you have a strong training program, then the students will be awarded credit. A key part of that is you need to be offering courses that we could say, point to a similar subject and similar objectives that's offered at a regionally accredited school. So examples are New Testament survey, evangelism, church history. And your courses aren't required to be accredited or to have instructors with any specific credentials. So you can have any instructors. It's because we're doing the evaluation is the reason for that. So that's the first one. We provide more information on our website on how that works, and we can provide more details in that. The second one would be where you partner to offer your courses for credit through City Vision. So what you would do is you would take your existing training content, you would work with us to translate that into a syllabus for an accredited online course through City Vision. We would submit that to our accreditors, work with you to record online versions of your training. Typically the syllabus you're going to want to have 2 to 3 books. And then if you have in-person discussion questions, we could translate those into online discussion questions, and often we recommend that you have some sort of major paper at the end. Our template is kind of designed around that, where we could work with you. Now on this one, in the first area for prior learning assessment, the faculty don't have to have any specific credentials. For this, if you're going to serve as a faculty, then your faculty would need to at least have a master's. Or you could use City Vision faculty in the courses. And the students, have to submit the online discussion. They submit a final paper, and they would pay significantly discounted tuition. Now, what a lot of ministries could do is you could provide the normal version of your training where you do that in person. And then you could say if you want credit, you can take the online version through City Vision, where you'd have recorded versions of your training, and you could offer that to your students. Now there's some state regulations, and there's some states where we wouldn't be able to do that, and we can talk with you on what states we can't have the combined online offline training, but in a lot of states we're able to do that. The third area where we can partner is to work with you on developing a sustainable revenue model. So how that works is City Vision provides our tuition at a discount. So for all partners, it's at least a 25% discount, so that's $4,500 per year. But for partners that provide a large number of students, we'll bring that down to $3,000 per year. So what we recommend is that most students, if they qualify for a Pell Grant, that they only take the Pell Grant. They don't have any loans, because that way they can go off directly and do ministry without having loans. So what that would do is if they were discounted to $3,000 a year, they would have $2,730 that they can use to pay for their personal living expenses. If you have some sort of program training fee, or if you have some sort of, some of these programs are residential, some sort of housing fee, then that provides them with some funds that can pay that. As long as they are, so this would be, if they're still involved in your program, they could be half-time with us, half-time with you. And students also potentially could qualify for loans that they could use for this, and we can work with you on that. Now, a key part of this is that, you want your students and your folks to be able to continue in your training program and to do well. We want them to do well in ours, so we wouldn't recommend that students do full-time in both, but there could be ways that they could do part-time in one or the other, and we could develop a partnership. And a lot of programs, if you bring in several $1,000s a year of revenue, where students can use federal loans and grants, then that becomes a much more sustainable model. So we can work with you to develop that. So if you're interested, what you should do is you should fill out the form on our website. You can also email us or call us and find out more information. What we'd do is we'd set up a longer conversation where we could discuss this with you and answer any questions. And then we have a memorandum of understanding and other things that we could work with you on. So if you have any questions, just contact us. Thanks a lot.